Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. Today I'm going to make some hot buttered pretzels. These are really easy to make, so let's get started. Just in my mixing bowl, I'm going to add 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, but I'm using bread flour. I have a ½ teaspoon of kosher salt, or you can use regular table salt. I have 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. I will leave a link to where I get my instant yeast from. And then I have up to a cup of warm water. It's warm here today. We might not need it all, but then again we might need it all. So I'm going to add almost all of it. Give it a good mix. Yep, looks like I'm going to need it all. I'm just going to give this a good mix by hand, and you can also knead this by hand, but I'm going to knead it on my mixer with the dough hook. It's going to go about 5 minutes or a little longer until everything comes together and everything looks really nice. I just want to stop it to show that everything has came together nicely. So now I'm going to turn it up to about a 3. And I'm going to let this go for about 5 minutes. Alright, my 5 minutes are up. But I'm going to bring it together a little bit on my table. Just sprinkle just a little bit of flour. We want our dough quite soft and quite smooth, but still a little slack. So I'm just going to knead it by hand. Once we get it kneaded to the way that we want it, you can take a big old zip top bag, sprinkle it with some flour, put your dough in it, seal it up, and let it rest and rise for 30 minutes. Or I'm just going to put mine in the bowl. Mine's not sticky at all. And everything feels like it's together. Bounces back. It's quite smooth. So in my mixing bowl, and I am going to cover it and just let it rest and hang out for around 30-40 minutes. In a minute, I'll bring you back. Okay, my 30 minutes are about up. So what I did is I lined some plastic wrap on my table. I just wet it down, and that helps it to stick. And now I'm just going to spray some little bit of non-stick cooking spray on here. And I have 2 large baking sheets. We're going to make 8 pretzels, so 4 on each. So I'm going to spray these down, or either you can line them with parchment paper. And here's my pretzel dough. It's pretty, ain't it? I'm going to dump it out. And we're going to divide this into 8 as equal pieces as we can get. So in half, then cut that piece in half. Right, that looks good. Now, since we stressed it out, we're going to let it set for 5 minutes. So let me get my sugar water ready. Okay, I have a ½ cup of very warm water, 1 teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to mix that together till the sugar dissolves. And then pour it in this bowl right here, because that's what we're going to dip our pretzels in. And I also have my oven preheating to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, now I'll do one on camera. We want to take our dough and roll it into a long rope. We want it to be about 28 inches. Okay, I know you can't see this, but this is about as wide as my table is. So now, just put it in a circle. Cross over the 2 ends and pinch them down like that. And there's your pretzel. Right there. So let me get the other ones done. I'll bring you back and we'll get them dipped and all. Okay, all of my pretzels are ready. So what we're going to do Let me get them moved around here. I'll just set my water bowl right here. We're going to dip them in our sugar water. Drain off the excess. Now you can either use coarse salt, kosher salt, pretzel salt. It's up to you. I'm using coarse kosher salt. And sprinkle it with your salt. Now I'm going to get the rest of mine dipped. And once we do, we're going to let them sit uncovered and rest for 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to let these rest for 10 minutes. And that'll give our oven time to finish preheating. Look how funny mine look. But these won't take long to bake. They'll bake anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes or until they're golden brown. And I'm going to rotate the pans after about 4 and 5 minutes. So I'll bring you back when they're done. Again, the oven is preheated to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. While they are baking, melt around 3 tablespoons of butter. And have that ready to brush on them as soon as they come out of the oven. And my yummy pretzels are done. So now we're going to brush them with the butter. And this is a lot of butter, but just keep brushing them until all the butter's gone. Now it's almost summer vacation, so if you want a fun thing to make with your kids, let them knead the dough and stuff. They'll love doing that. And then you do the baking, and then they have a nice yummy snack. Now it's best to eat these warm. And if you don't eat them all now, you can preheat them back in the oven or in the microwave. So I'm going to brush all of mine till the butter's all gone. And let them cool just a little bit. And then I'll bring you back to try them. Alright, my buttered pretzels have cooled enough where I can try them. See how soft they are. And they'll still be chewy. So good. Kind of like mall pretzels. And this would be great dipped in some honey mustard sauce. Or just regular mustard. I like to dip mine just in regular mustard. Now, I get a lot of my baking recipes out of the King Arthur Flour Baker's Companion cookbook. I will put a link to that in the description box below. Of course, with the recipe and everything. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Comment because I love hearing from you. And until my next video, I hope you enjoy. Bye, y'all.